Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. And here is another part of the story from a recent visit to the vibrant island of Cuba. A journey that was as enlightening as it was exhilarating, filled with the rich, aromatic universe of world-renowned Cuban cigars. Today, we are not just revisiting my journey, but also meeting the masterminds behind the allure of these exquisite products. We'll be talking to the gentleman responsible for marketing these cigars, a connoisseur who ensures the quality of each cigar and teaches the etiquette of cigar smoking. And on the other side, we have the man who is passionately promoting Cuban cigars in India, bridging cultures with every puff. From the lush tobacco fields to the bustling cigar factories, every moment in Cuba was a testament to the passion and craftsmanship that goes into creating each Cuban cigar. So sit back, light up, and let their words guide you through the captivating stories of Cuban cigars. From the fields of Cuba to the bustling streets of India, let's embark on this smoky journey together.
All is all about the product and the quality of the product. Habanos is the unique denomination of origin, what in French is called Denomination d'Origine Contrôlée. DOP is the only DOP in the tobacco world. That means that there is a council which regulates all the production processes in an Habanos. That starts with the seed. The Cuban seed is unique. The variety of the Cuban seed is unique in the world. And then there is the terroir, so the land. It's completely different than the rest of the Caribbean, and it's the unique climate. So it's the combination of the soil, the climate, the seed, and the know-how. This council regulates all the processes to make an Habanos. That, by the way, it's more than 500 processes, all handmade. When we say our cigars are handmade, it's handmade for the whole process, from the agriculture, the fermentation, and then the rolling of the cigars. So this council controls all the quality in the whole process, and this unique combination of know-how, seed, soil, and climate makes the Cuban tobacco list different than any other ones cultivated in the Caribbean islands. So Habanos DOP regulates, the council regulates all the processes, and then we have 27 brands. 27 brands, 6 of them are the most, what we call the global brands, that makes more than 80% of our sales and are the most famous one, like Cohiba, Montecristo, Romeo y Julieta, Partagas, Hoyo de Monterrey, and H. Upmann. These 6 global brands are distributed worldwide and have the top quality requirements for the production. Out of them, we have another 21 brands. One of them is a boutique brand called Trinidad, also the most exclusive after Cohiba, and then we have the rest of portfolio brands. What makes the difference between the brands is the blending from the different farms and the blending of the different quality tobacco leaves. It's clear that Cohiba and Trinidad gets the highest quality, and there is of course a mystery on how we blend the Cuban list for the different brands. And at the end, it's all about quality. It's all about the unique combination of the terroir, soil, know-how, and to check the quality in the whole process.
So, I'm going to tell you the stories, and you can cut it down if you want to. But basically, there was a Cuban ambassador here called Olga Chamero, who was a friend of mine. And my classmate was ambassador in Cuba. And he sent me a message saying that, he's getting posted out, and why don't you come and visit me in Cuba? So I said, what's that to do in Cuba? I had no idea about Cuba. And he said, we have the best cigars. Well, he said he started with best rum, best women, best beaches, and best cigars. So I said, all right, I'm coming. And those days, exactly 25 years ago, India had a very strict import policy. And we had no foreign exchange import and all that. And so I asked my office to send me, there was no emails at that time, there was a fax. Send me a fax at National Hotel, tell me what the import policy is, that I can work around it. And I told the 2 ambassadors to invite the president and the director of Habanos for lunch. And so I arrived in Cuba, in Havana. I went to the desk and I got a message saying cigars are banned for import. So I said, now what am I doing over here? Cigars are bad for this is never going to happen. And I went for the meeting, and during the meeting I said, I like the people. Of course, the ambassador was a dear friend. I said, I don't know how, but I'm going to change the policy. And that is how I came back. This, okay, we give you 1 year or 8 months to change the policy. I came back, and there was a Minister of Commerce called Hegde. And I went to see him, a friend of mine, and said to him that, sir, what you did in Bangalore with the pubs and opening up a society, and drinking and all that, we should do for cigars. And I gave him a write-up saying that all cigars should be allowed for import because you can't have. And he said to me, young man, you're my father's friend. He said, young man, you don't know how to do business. I said, sir, tell me how. He says, we have this pretty Cuban ambassador sitting over here. We should allow only Cuban cigars to be imported. I said, sir, WTO may not allow you to do that. No. So he issued a notification the next day saying only Cuban cigars allowed. So for about 6-7 months, we had only Cuban cigars here until some ambassador complained, and then of course it got opened up. And I think I must also tell you that my grandfather smoked cigars, my father smoked cigars. So I was sort of naturally wanted to smoke. And if you went to, and lots of people who gamble all over the world. So if you go with these gamblers to casinos, and I'm not gambling, but you get to sit in the VVIP lounge and you get to, smoke, have great whiskey, have great food, and of course you have Cuban cigars. So I was smoking there for a long time, and so why not bring them to India? And I think it happened, the process of introducing cigars to India happened only by almost accidentally. We were doing what we were doing. We were having a fun time, we were hosting parties, now we were hosting cigars. And I think that what happened is that I think people were a little bit scared about holding this big cigar in the hand and how does it look and all this type of thing. So I, by accident, became their ambassador. And then somebody in the Hindustan Times put a big article saying cigars are of India. And of course that stuck. And then in those days they could advertise, so anywhere I went with a cigar, I was published I think 8,000 or 9,000 times, and all these interviews and all that. And then when cigars, smoking in public places got banned, the very famous, newscaster called Arnav Goswami, he decided to interview me. And I said, I'm not coming to your studio, I will interview in my own office. So they sent the cameras here, and I never watched television. I didn't know this guy. I mean, he's like an Alsatian barking away. And I'm sitting here smoking my cigar, but I had the notification and I knew my points and everything else. And he suddenly comes on the headphone and says to me, but you can't smoke on my channel. So I said, then I don't want to talk. If I can't smoke, I smoke in my office. You can't. The law allows me to smoke in my office. Doesn't allow me to. He said, okay. Then suddenly he comes on. There is Chetan Seth. You're smoking a cigar, Mr. Seth. Are you defying the ban of the government? Oh God, what happened? I have no idea what happened. And then I said to him, I took a deep breath. I said, no, it's not like that. We went through this whole process. So that's how cigars happen, as far as India is concerned.
Stay tuned for more updates from this exciting event. Reporting from Cuba, this is Julia Gangwani. Back to you in the studio.